Three men were shopping in a supermarket when they noticed something strange. They had just entered the restroom, and when they came out, everyone had disappeared. I went outside the market and still didn't see anyone. The entire city was silent, as if only the three of them were left in the world. The three men, who refused to give up, continued searching but found nothing. In the end, they came to believe that people had vanished, and thinking this, the three of them couldn't help but laugh. At that moment, a light shone brightly through the night. They turned to look and saw a few words appear on a building screen, welcoming the three of them. The game had just begun. The three men looked at it in puzzlement. I don't know what all of this means, but following the instructions above, they reached the center of the city where the largest game awaited. A red lantern glowed twice, as if signaling them to go inside. The three of them cautiously and slowly approached the lantern. Inside, there was an escalator, and no danger was detected, so they walked in without hesitation. However, I didn't know that infrared beams were beneath my feet. Their hiding place had been recorded. A mobile phone was on the windowsill near the escalator, seemingly placed there intentionally. The three exchanged glances, and one of them followed the instructions, simply opening the phone. A 2-minute countdown appeared on the screen, but only when they made a mistake again. Then, a long-haired girl appeared. She walked in without hesitation, and took out her work badge from the pocket of a man wearing a jacket. The woman said that this was a game of life and death, with no way to turn back. Once you enter, if not, the outcome would be like a G's work card. I thought there was no one else. Before many people could react, the schoolgirl walked in, and after 2 minutes, the game officially began. The escalator doors opened automatically at this point. Now they had only the game, and only then could one leave the island. 5 people took the escalator up to the 3rd floor. The 2-minute countdown appeared again on everyone's phones, meaning no one could leave a room within those 2 minutes. There was only one ending. The most striking thing in the room was the 2 doors. The left side was the door of death, and the right side was the gateway to life. The man in the jacket seemed intriguing. I took out my phone and recorded it as a memento, but no one knew the danger was just beginning. Suddenly, a thick smoke began rising from the floor. As it grew denser, the schoolgirl could no longer endure it. I rushed toward the door of life, but the next second, it seemed like the gateway to life, but it was actually hiding a secret. The remaining death door was the exit from the 1st level. Beautiful. After entering, the phone would restart the countdown timer. However, 10 seconds would be deducted for each level they passed. The phone started a countdown of 1 minute and 50 seconds. In front of me were the 2 doors, life and death. Within the allotted time, they only needed to open the wrong door, and then they would surely die. The long-haired boy, Xiao Shuai, was extremely frightened. His legs felt weak as he gripped the door tightly. But in the end, I didn't have the courage to open it. With 15 seconds remaining, Mr. Huang Mao gathered his courage to walk toward the door of life. Since the death door on the previous level had been the exit, Huang Mao hesitated, wondering whether this level might be different. I predicted that this was the correct choice. But every time you pass a level, the time is reduced by only 10 seconds. By the 3rd level, there was just 1 minute and 40 seconds. If we continued following Huang Mao's method, the danger was obvious. Ever since the mysterious man had set up such a grand game, there had to be rules for passing each level. Among the 4 people, Xiao Shuai was a mega gamer. Beyond just playing games, I always watched Xiao Shuai play nearly every game on the market. No matter how complex the game, he could break it down and solve it. But at this moment, Xiao Shuai was already scared. My mind was full of fear. The click of the doorknob and the tension in my hands startled Xiao Shuai immediately. In that instant, his thoughts went back to when he first entered the building. There was a BMW parked at the entrance. From there, we could calculate the death door exit. Were you sure the answer was 3 or 4 deaths? I didn't think 3 actually reached the next level. How did Xiao Shuai manage it? He relied on the length of the car, measured the building, and then used his foot to estimate the room's area. He counted the number of bricks, each representing a square, which ensured the room itself was square-shaped. As they went up the escalator, Xiao Shuai noticed a floor map on the wall. Indeed, the brick layout was square-shaped as well. Since all were squares, there should be 9 rooms per floor. At first, the schoolgirl had died at the door of life. They just moved forward, whether they saw the door of life or the death door. It was a correct path. Following this method, just keep moving forward and you could exit. Now there was a death door, and the next exit had to be the final destination. Indeed, Xiao Shuai's calculations were correct, but what happened next was completely unexpected. When a mega game suddenly merged with real life, the game of life and the game of death, what would happen here? You have only one life, and a single misstep would lead to death. At first, Xiao Shuai measured the area of the room with his feet, then calculated, based on the number and size of tiles, that the secret room was square-shaped. The drawings next to the escalator were also square. Following Xiao Shuai's method, just keep moving forward and you would surely exit. Not long after, they reached the final level of the game. But this time, Xiao Shuai felt dizzy and uncertain. In front of me was a wall. There wasn't a single door. The life door and the death door were now to the left and right, respectively. Xiao Shuai immediately recalled what they had just passed. There was nothing suspicious about that path. Did I have any doubts? Then he thought, I had photographed the escape route of the schoolgirl on the first floor. So I quickly deciphered it and observed. The schoolgirl had opened the wrong room. The wall on the other side, when examined carefully, showed that the room wasn't square-shaped, meaning the final room should be the vault. This time, the exit had to be the exit. Xiao Shuai guessed correctly. However, his teammates were moving more slowly than before, and his legs were cramping. After considerable effort, many people finally escaped safely. By then, the phone also received a message confirming the successful clearing of the level. But before anyone could catch their breath, the woman noticed a single poker chip, a club number 3. She picked it up without wanting to know more. I never thought this would mark the beginning of another terrifying ordeal. At this point, all 4 of them receive a message. The next game would begin soon. The 3 clubs meant there were only 3 days left for everyone. To survive, they had to continue competing. Meanwhile, the old man with the badge walked forward and shouted that he wanted to end the competition. The next second, at that moment, all the lights in the city went out. Red lasers cut through the darkness. A woman appeared at the highest point of the city. The second round of the competition officially began. This is a Japanese story, Alice in Borderland.